Your time at Ozone, magazine was definitely something that really helped pave the way in your DJing
Hmm.
career, just even networks and connections and stuff like that. Fast forwarding now, for those that don't know, you were originally Big K.R.I.T's DJ.
Yeah.
Tell us about you getting the offer to meeting him to just even listening to his music prior to becoming his DJ. Like, give us the whole rundown.
So during this mixtape era is when I met Crit. This had to be maybe '05, '06 is when I actually met him. There is a colleague of mine named DJ Folk he's somewhere down here in South Florida.
Okay.
But DJ Folk, he eventually went on to become one of Jeezy's personal A&Rs, and he's one of the he calls himself the facilitator. And he's helped a lot of producers place beats with people like Lil Wayne and other another artists like that. But anyway, he knowing another friend I met online, knowing my musical sensibility and taste, especially for like genuine Southern rap music, introduced me to Chris music around this time. He sent me a rough version of what eventually became Just Touchdown that was on the Crit Was Here project, and uh, and when I heard it, man, it just blew my mind. Like I said, this was like maybe late '05, early '06, something like that. And I was listening to this song and I just kept playing it over and over and over again because it was like around this time, this is when like the snap shit was happening, like D4L, DJ Unk, T Pain was making his waves or whatever. Uh, and this sounded like the shit that I grew up on, but it
Mm.
also sounded like some shit I had never heard before at the same time. So I'm like, yo, bro, what the fuck did you find this at? He was like, this kid, he's like 18 and 19 years old. It's like, where's he from? He's like, from Meridian, Mississippi. I said, man, what? Like, what? It's like, yeah, man. And the thing that had me engaged at first was the way he was rapping, because he was rapping with aptitude, and he was rapping forcefully, and he wasn't letting the beat command him. He was in control of what was going on. Even though the music was great, the beat wasn't the beat wasn't overshadowing him. He was in control of what he was saying, and he sounded like like he was rapping like say like a Nas or a Rakim or somebody like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, where when they rhyme, they attack the beat. It's not the other way around. That was the first thing that grabbed my attention. I said, bro, he's going crazy, and and he was. I could tell that he was a songwriter too by the way he was rapping, because he was rapping with structure, which was another thing that instantly grabbed my attention. And on top of that, he had told me he was so young. I was like, damn, he's 18, 19 years old. He's already got this part down. Because back then, you hear a kid that's just that young rapping, they just be rapping to rap. They might be kicking like 100 bars of nothing.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you might be able to pick out whether or not that they can rhyme or not. But this was like a full on structured song, like a song. It had an intro. The bars were six. It had like 12 or 16 bar verses, a proper hook, a proper vamp, or everything about this song was like it was like a complete and polished product. So then, after I initially got over how good the song was, I asked him like, so who made this beat? Because I'm like, this beat is just as crazy as the song is. He was like, he did. I said, bro, what? He's like, yeah, man, he did. I was like, said, hold on. So you mean to tell me there's a teenager in Meridian, Mississippi, that's making music that's this far advanced already? It's like, yeah, man. I was like, whoa, bro, that shit was crazy. So after that, I went on MySpace and just looked him up and found him on MySpace.
What year is this, by the way?
This had to like it had to be '05, '06.
Okay.
I don't recall exactly when, but it was around. It was late '05 or early '06.
So you looked him up on MySpace.
Yeah, looked him up on MySpace, and I found him, and I said to him, I said, bro, I am really into what you're doing. Uh, you are extremely gifted. I don't know if you even realize what you on. I don't even realize the path that you on, but whatever you're doing, do not change what you're doing and do not stop doing, don't change anything and continue on this path because eventually this is going to work out for you in ways that you will probably never imagine. And I want to work with you. I was like, I want to help. I want to help as best I can. And at that time, the best way I could help was make a mixtape out of his music. So I said to him, said, hey, man, I want to do a mixtape with you if you're interested. And initially, he thought that I meant that I just wanted drops from him. You know what I mean? That's all. And I was gonna have him host because that was like the thing back then, having an artist host your mixtape. Uh, um, and I said, nah. I said I do want drops. Yes, I do want drops, but that's not what I'm trying to do. I said I want to take your music and showcase your music. So this tape is pretty much gonna be all you. He was like, for real? I was like, yes. I was like, look. I did acknowledge, and I saw that Folk had done a couple tapes with him already, and he had done one with DJ Break 'Em Off. And I listened to those tapes, and all those tapes were great. They were good, and I was like, "Yo, man, can you send me, send me like your 15 best songs that you think are your best songs, or whatever." And he sent them to me, and then I went about making the tape the way I would make it, and I sent it back to him. I was like, tell me what you think of this. He's like, bro, this sounds like a full-on album. I was like, I know. That was the point. Like I'm trying to make. And then I also sent him like 3 or 4 instrumentals that I thought he'd be good to, good for him to rap over. Because I just needed some, I wanted some exclusive content that was just for me. And he was excited that the beats I picked for him weren't really Southern beats because I sent him like a common instrumental but it was something that it was musical stuff that had like deep soul in it. And he sent me back the freestyles, and I put all of it together, sent it back to him, made sure got his approval before I put it out. I said, look, I'm about to showcase you. It's like I'm with it, and that was the beginning of our relationship. And speaking of the Ozone Awards, to circle back to that, when I the first tape that I ever did with K.R.I.T, I released it the weekend of the first Ozone Awards. So, and I took it with me, and I was just giving it to anybody that I was like, bro, this is that shit. This is the shit you should be listening to. This is what everybody should be listening to. Just giving it to anybody I knew that had anything to do, or anyone that understood Southern hip hop to the degree that I understood it, that was involved or trying to be involved. I would try and get them to listen to it, and then I did that. He was able to get a little bit of a buzz. There was some interest starting to be shown, and I think the first Ozone Awards happened, and they either happened in the summer '06 or summer '07. I don't recall when, but that happened, and I just I thought I went as far as I could. We fell out of touch. Just life moved on. And I started doing my thing, and I guess he started doing his thing. And but during that time, where there was a lapse in communication, I would just randomly just call him and be like, "Bro, what are you doing?" It's like, man, I'm in Atlanta now. I'm doing my thing. I might have to go back to Mississippi. I said, my nigga, whatever you do not stop making the music, and don't stop making it the way you making it. Just keep going. Just whatever you do, just keep going. I get a gig in Atlanta at Uptown Comedy Club of all places. I had to go DJ there, and I told him I was coming down there. He was living, and I finally met him. Was able to shake hands and shit, and we hung out, kicked it, or whatever. We got back in touch, and he told me then, he's like, I'm about to put out this one project. That project being K.R.I.T was there. He was working on it at the time. He's like, yo, man, just check it out. When it comes out, I was like, yeah, I'm with it, man. Just keep doing your thing. K.R.I.T Was Here comes out a few months later in May of 2010. He calls me up, or I don't know, whatever it was. I don't know if he called me, if it was an online message or whatever. But he reached out to me and says, "Hey, I've been in New York. I just put this tape out. It's going way better than I expected. I got some management now. I've been, things are looking up for me. There's a possibility that I may be getting signed soon." And I'm like, this is what is good for you. You know what I mean? And I just try to keep encouraging what was going on. Uh, and then K.R.I.T Was There comes out in May. After it comes out, I see it. I see everything like on the blog era. This is like the beginning of the blog era, like the Charles Hamilton, Donis era, and all that kind of stuff when all those guys were around. Uh, and K.R.I.T is in the mix. Everybody's loving it, and I'm like, I hit him up. It's like, I told you, bro. Like this is. I told you was on to something. And then just out of the blue, randomly, and I had a job. I was working for this company called Media Base. I was monitoring radio play,
Mm.
and it was a steady job, like super steady job, a well paying job too, especially for somebody like me. And I could still DJ. And at this time, around this time, I was for lack of a better term, I was the man in Chattanooga. I was the man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I was, as far as DJs go, I was the top dog.
Mm-hmm.
So I was working. I was working every weekend. Every for probably about 9 months out of the year. This was my weekend. Friday I'm in the club. Saturday I'm doing the wedding and I'm in the club that night. Sunday I'm in the club. This is the entire year. Every weekend, the entire year. So 52 weeks out of the year, that's what I was doing. I was straight. I was super good. I was in a really good place. And I'm having this conversation with K.R.I.T, and I just say to him, I said, "Hey, bro, if you need a DJ," because he had mentioned that they were getting ready to put him on tour. I was like, "Yo, if you need a DJ, man, I do it." Not knowing anything about tour DJing, I didn't know anything about nothing in regards to tour DJing. I had no clue at all. I said, "Hey, man, look, if you need a DJ, I'll be down to do it." He was like, "For real?" I was like, "Yep, I do it." You know. So, he was like, "All right, cool." And then we didn't talk for maybe like a month or two. Then he called me. He was like, "Hey, man, I got a show in Memphis." I'm like, "What day is it on? Where I gotta be?" And that's kind of how I started. And then we went and did that show in Memphis. Did not practice at all. Had
Mm-hmm.
no rehearsal or nothing of the sort. And while we were talking on the drive to Memphis, uh, I said, "Hey, man, just send me all the songs you want to perform." Or it's like, well, it's just like, actually, it's like, I'm gonna like, send me all instrumentals from the project. He sent it to me. It's like, I'm gonna put together a set for you, and just whatever song come on, you rap, and and that's just how we'll do it. We get on stage, instant chemistry,
Mm.
work like a charm, and then that's how he and I, just after that, he was like, "Yeah, you my DJ." Then he told his management, he's like, "I found my DJ. This is who's gonna DJ for me." And then his management was familiar with me from my mixtape shit, because I had, in order to have a heavy presence in the mixtape game, you had to have like a real heavy presence in New York. And he had known my name just from tapes, because that's just kind of how things work. And it worked out. I spent 3.5 years on the road with him,
Mm-hmm.
and that's how that all began.